Hey there. How you doing? This is your girl, Dr. Avis, and welcome to tonight's very special broadcast around seven-figure secrets. Okay, if you are brand new to me, let me take a quick second to introduce myself, and then I'm going to jump right into the pool of what I want to talk about tonight. My name is Dr. Avis. I am the seven-figure CEO of Media to Millions. We are an incredible, I would say, just bomb.diggity.com company that helps entrepreneurs understand how to make multi-six, and even seven-figure leaps in their businesses by learning how to leverage the power of media in order to drive more leads to their businesses and more bank to their bottom lines. I am also the creator of the Perfect Media Pitch Power Players free Facebook group. And so if you are not over there, make sure that you head over there and join us in our Facebook group. It's so easy to join. We do free trainings over there on a weekly basis. And tonight is a version of the type of trainings that I do over there. Every week we have Monetize You. And so this is a very special Monetize You. Every week at this time, Wednesday nights at 7 p.m., 7-ish. Okay, 7-ish. Had a little time finding a little something. I've recently moved into this new home, and it's a long story. I do television appearances from home, and the other day there was some issue with the Wi-Fi, so I moved downstairs to do an interview, and I forgot that I had left some stuff downstairs that I needed. So anyhow, between going back and forth between downstairs and here, I finally got everything together. But every week, Wednesday night at 7, we have our Magnify You series, right? And what Magnify You is all about, it's about really being able to understand the concept of media monetization, because we understand that it's not about getting famous, it's about getting paid if you are a business owner, right? And so every week we vacillate between trainings around visibility, which oftentimes leverage media in order to get that visibility, and trainings around monetization, about growing your business. But this particular week, I want to do a very special training that was broadcast far and wide. So hello to my power players. How you doing? Hello to all of you who are out there in all the other spaces where you are right now. Sorry, Instagram had problems with getting you together, but we're everywhere else we can be. Okay. So hi to everybody. Super excited about sharing tonight's training with you. Tonight's training is very, very critical, because I have to say, I've found it very interesting to see what's going on, particularly in these digital marketing streets, around this term millionaire, right? Around this term seven-figure, entrepreneur, right? And it has gotten to a place where you're seeing that almost every time you turn around. And I really wanted to have a very real, a very transparent, a very honest discussion tonight. Hey there, Willetta. How you doing? It's one of my amazing clients. Around how you can make the shift, right? What is necessary to take you from solopreneur, even wantrepreneur. Maybe you haven't even started a business session and you want to. But how to go from wantrepreneur or solopreneur, you're hustling, you're getting it done, you're making sales, you have a business, but you're doing everything yourself. How to go from there to seven-figure CEO, because there's some realness around this that I want to talk about. Now, before I get into that, let me just take a second right now to let you know a little bit of something about that little ticker that you see down there, perfectmediapitch.com. I failed to mention that I'm also the creator of the Perfect Media Pitch Masterclass. It is a masterclass that we do that is really, it helps you unpack how to design your perfect media pitch that will allow you to be able to get in front of millions, like get on television, get on radio, get on podcasts, get published. That is critical for getting your message and your business out there in a powerful way with authority, positioned as the expert in your space, which will allow you to, if you do it wisely, attract clients and also close more revenue, and all for free, right? Because earned media, which is what we teach you how to take advantage of in this masterclass, is absolutely FREE, okay? And so if you have not signed up for that, I'm going to encourage you right now to go to perfectmediapitch.com. That's perfectmediapitch.com. Sign up for that completely free training. It is life-changing. It could be life-changing for you, your business, your posterity. Why? Because it is our sincere belief, and we have found it to be true, as well as our clients have found it to be true, that if you can reach millions, you can do what? You can make millions. All right? So with that said, let's get the party started around seven-figure CEO secrets. Seven-figure CEO secrets. Now, as I said, there is a lot of allure around this issue of, millionaire status. So much allure that I have to say, in many respects, from my interpretation of what's going on right now. Hey there, good evening, is that we are in a moment where individuals are using the buzzwords around millionaire, seven-figure entrepreneur, seven-figure earner. Hey there, Dr. Corpia, as a marketing tool itself, right? And we really don't know where they are, but they can say, hey, I'm a millionaire, I'm a seven-figure CEO. And, that in and of itself is a marketing tool. And it's getting a little, it's becoming a thing. It is a thing, okay? Where that designation itself is being used to attract people to their particular businesses. Now, I will say that it plays on a common desire, and it's nothing wrong with that desire. As an entrepreneur, you're going to want to go to that next level. When you first start out, probably your very first goal that you're trying to hit is to get into that six-figure range. And then after you hit six figures, you want to hit multi-six figures. And then after you hit multi-six, you want to hit seven. That makes sense. That's the natural progression. And of course, you don't want to stop there. You might want to ultimately you will want to ultimately hit multi-seven. And then from there, you're going to want to be like me, like on your 8-figure journey and beyond, right? It does not end. The beautiful thing about entrepreneurship is that there does not need to be, and there isn't, a ceiling on your potential. There is no ceiling on your potential, on what you can acquire, on how big your business can grow, on how many people it can serve, right? On how many zeros you can have in your bank account. Hello. And so because of that, it makes sense to be bold, to be ambitious. If you weren't ambitious, you would not be an entrepreneur, period. Now, obviously, you can be ambitious in the world of work. There's lots of opportunity to climb that corporate ladder, and that's just another way to express it. But I will say that if you are in this space as an entrepreneur, you are definitely ambitious, or you wouldn't be here at all. Okay? Entrepreneurship ain't easy. Okay? So you are here because you want more. You deserve more, and you're trying to figure out how to get it. Now, tonight, though, I wanted to peel back the covers from what the real deal is around these sort of seven-figure CEO requirements, like what it really, really takes to get there. Because when we live in a space and an era, as I mentioned, in which people use being a millionaire or seven-figure CEO status itself as a marketing tool, oftentimes it is watered down to the point where you're only seeing the fairy dust, the sprinkles, the fun parts associated with it. You're only seeing, for example, the nice clothes, the nice cars, the nice homes. And honestly, oftentimes on social media, you don't even really know how much of that stuff is really theirs. Okay. It could be rented for the day. You don't know. Okay. So the point is, that is the part that oftentimes gets the play, especially in the digital marketing space. And no one really talks about really what is required, what really is required to get there beyond whatever it is they are hawking at the moment, right? So I want to tell you right now that there are some real deal, rubber to the road requirements that are absolute non-negotiables when you start to travel down this road. There are some things you will face. And I wanted to be very real and transparent about that tonight, because these are not the glitz and glamour parts of it. This is not the part that quote unquote is the fun part where people will be posting about it on social media, but it is real. It is real. And I want you to understand what is along this path that you're moving towards. Let me just also say you can have a very successful and fulfilling life as an entrepreneur without ever hitting seven figures. All right. But if this is a path that you want to go down, I want you to understand what is required. What is required? I know we've heard the term to whom much is given, much is required. Let me also add to that for whom, where much is desired, much is required. Okay. If you want more, you're going to have to do more and do more of the right things to get it. Okay. Yes, it takes hard work, but hey, that's a given. So I'm not even going to even mention that because we kind of know that it is much deeper than working hard. You can work hard, you can work long and still never get there. Okay. So let's talk about what is really required in order to break through to that seven-figure CEO level. And first of all, let me just say that I'm using this word CEO or that term CEO very, very intentionally because there is, first and foremost, a big difference between being a solopreneur and a CEO. These are two very different realities, two very different existences, and they require two very different things. At every level of this game, the situation will require more of you. Okay. So let me see in the chat, how many of you are solopreneurs right now? How many of you have, you're just out here doing the darn thing, you're getting it done, you are working your tails off, you're working your fingers to the bone, you are out here running your business right now, or you're a onepreneur and you want to start a business. If you are in the chat right now with me, I'd love it if you put either solopreneur, onepreneur, okay, in there, if you're one of those two. If you're already a CEO, which I'm defining as you are someone who has a team, put that in there because I want to see that. I just want to get a sense of who's in the building. Okay. All right. Hey there, Karen. Good to see you. Karen is still solopreneuring it. Okay, girl. Good to see you. Lori is solo. Belinda. Hey there, Belinda. Great to see you. So I'm getting a sense of solopreneur. Got a lot of solopreneurs in the house tonight. Perfect. So I will start there. Solopreneurs. Many of you are. Okay. And it's nothing wrong, obviously, with that because that's where we all start. We all start as solopreneurs. When you start down this lane, that's where it starts, typically. For most of us, that's where we start. We start doing it ourselves, right? And let me also say, you can accomplish a lot as a solopreneur. You can hit six figures. You can hit multiple six figures as a solopreneur. Who's this? Lord have mercy, my eyesight's just getting worse and worse, you guys. Martin is a onepreneur. I like how you spelled it, Martin. I have to adapt that way of spelling it. He's a weekend warrior. Love it. Okay. And Eric, solopreneur, LaShawn, CEO. So most of us are solopreneurs. Okay. So like I said, it's nothing wrong with being a solopreneur. That's how most of us start. And you can get a long way as a solopreneur. You can hit your first six figures. You can hit multiple six figures, all as a solopreneur. But here's the real deal. And if there are any six-figure solopreneurs in the house, drop that in the chat too, because I want you to be able to say whether or not what I'm about to say now is real. Okay. Here's the real deal. For those of you who have hit the six-figure mark or higher as a solopreneur, the reality is, okay, you are working your buns off to do it. You're getting up early. You're staying up late. You're working weekends. You're working holidays. You're not vacationing. You are working your fingers to the bone. You are part of the grind economy. You're on the grind. Let me tell you, a lot of people are romanticizing the grind. romanticizing the hustle. It's all about the grind. Is there anybody in the house that can tell me if I'm telling the truth here? I know because I've been it. I've done it. I've lived it. I've been there. I've done that. I know what it takes. Arella says, yes, 6 is tough. When you are buyers, you are exactly right. You are working. Eric says 366 days a year. I hear you, Eric. I'm telling you, there are no days off. Team no days off. Hashtag team no days off in the house. Okay. I understand that life. It is overwhelming. Absolutely, Sharon. Until you hire, bam, there it is. Truth. It is a lot. Let me tell you, the grind that is romanticized so much in social media. The hustling, the hustle, the grind, the never stop, the grinding, the grind. Let me tell you, it is not sustainable. You can't have that and your health. You can't have that and your life and a life. You can't have that and the time that you want with the people that you love. You just can't. It is not sustainable. If it is sustainable, you are sacrificing those things. That is what I'm trying to tell you. It comes a point where you will hit a wall. There is only so much that one person can do in 24 hours, even if you're working it 7 days a week. Okay? There is only so much that one person can do. It's not anything wrong with you. You're just human, and time is time. Time is a limited resource. You can always make more money. You can never make more time. Never. So you can squeeze as much as you can in your 10-hour workdays, 12-hour workdays, 16-hour workdays. You do have to sleep. You do have to eat, however long your workday is. But at the end of the day, there's only one you in that time. So yes, you can be about that life if you want to. And if you call it a life, all right? But what good is it? Please tell me, what good is it to work your fingers to the bone to make that milestone of the 6 figures, of the multiple 6 figures that you're looking to make, and not even have the time to enjoy it? Boom. What good is it? How is that advancing your life, the ball in any substantial way, just in terms of the enjoyment that you are getting out of your life? If there is one thing that we should have learned from this past experience over the past year or so, and then we're still going through it in terms of the pandemic, it should really have caused us to reassess our lives, in a sense, in terms of what is valuable. I had a VIP day with a client the other day, and she was talking about how it really was an epiphany for her, this whole sort of shutdown situation. And it really allowed her to think, if I were to go out tomorrow and get something that can kill me, I know that right now I'm not satisfied with where I am in my life. I don't feel like I've lived the life I wanted to live. I won't be able to leave the legacy that I want to leave. Okay? So now is the time to prioritize creating a life you want. And I know that you're probably saying, how is this even connected with the 7-figure CEO situation? If I am working my fingers to the bone now, I'm not even near 7 figures. And you're saying to me, I can make more money and have more time. And I'm telling you, yes. I'm telling you, yes, you can. I'm telling you, yes, you can. In fact, I'm telling you, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. You will not be able to work your way out of the current prison that you have created yourself by literally being self-employed, right? As that solopreneur, you are literally self-employed. Congratulations, you just made a new job for yourself that has no days off, that has no vacation, that makes you work overtime all the time, congratulations. You have employed yourself. Okay? But at some point, you will hit a wall. You will hit a wall. All right? Now, here's what I need to tell you. Karen says, I'm telling the truth. Absolutely. Here's what I need to tell you. What you have to understand is that in order to scale, which is what we're talking about now, when we're talking about moving from solopreneur to CEO, this is the process of scaling. Okay. How many here wants to know how to scale? Okay. How many here wants to know how to scale? So to scale, what you have to know is that, as I mentioned, you can always make more money. You can never make more time, but you can, in essence, create clones of pieces of you, or at least you can create a team, right? This is a requirement. This is not an option. This is a requirement. It's not an option. The only way that you can make more time, in essence, is if you have more people doing more things in the same amount of time. So think of it as if you have more people doing more things in the same amount of time, that is like you being able to do in one day and getting done what you yourself it might take you a week to do. What if you had people on your team that could help you do it, so that what you alone would take you a week to do, you could get done in a day or two? That's because you are magnifying the time by having more people work in the same time that you were laboring by yourself. This is a requirement. It is not an option. It is not an option. Okay. Hey there, Natasha. How you doing? This is what scaling means. Now, you need to scale for a couple of different reasons as a seven-figure CEO. You need to scale not only because it allows you to get out of that self-employment mode and make the shift to the CEO mode, which frees up your time to focus your energies in your best space on the best and highest levels of the uses of your genius. Like, you don't need to do everything. Yeah, everything needs to get done, but everything doesn't need to get done by you. Figure out what doesn't need to get done by you and have someone else do it. My best advice to you is hire your weaknesses. Hire people to do sort of administrative tasks. You are not a genius in everything, okay? Spend your time in your genius zone and hire out the other stuff, okay? Now, does this mean that you'll be able to hire a full complement of 5, 10 people all at one time, at one pop, when you first start out down this road? No, this will be an eventual process. It can all start with one person. Your best first hire will be that virtual assistant, that person that can take some administrative tasks off your plate. And if you take that time back, not only to be able to work somewhat more normal hours, but also to be focused on revenue generating capabilities or activities, now you're able to bring in more money. Okay? Because here is the death spiral that most small businesses get into. We just talked about this, for example, with another client of mine today. Okay? This is the death spiral that most small businesses get into. They start off in hustle mode trying to get their first clients. Okay? They get their first clients. They're so excited they get their first clients. They are right in that they prioritize delivering for those clients. Okay? You can't get the clients and then not deliver, because that is the best way to not have a business for the long term. Okay. But then they get so involved in delivering for those clients that they're no longer doing what they need to do to get more clients. There is a runway. There is a runway between people knowing you and people actually feeling comfortable enough with you in order to be your client, such that If when you get new clients on, you stop doing those things that are necessary to get people on that runway, okay, to get new clients in the door, then guess what? At some point, you will complete your engagements with those clients that you just got on a couple of months prior. And then there's nothing in the pipeline. And guess what? Now your revenue is looking funny. Okay. That is not sustainable. That is the death spiral that leads to a lot of businesses, small businesses closing because they do not know how to balance service delivery as well as continue to market and sell at the same time. Why? Because they're only one person. They have a limited time in the day, even if they're working those long hours, even if they're working nights and weekends, even if they're working holidays, and they're not putting in the proper work to keep the sort of pipeline flowing in terms of new customers. Okay. And so what I'm suggesting here is that hire needs to be used in a way that will allow you to free up time for you to keep new customers coming in the door while you're also working on delivering on those customers that you already have. Okay? Does that make sense? Both has to happen at the same time continually for your business not only to sort of remain in business, but for it to grow. This is how you scale. You scale not just staying at the same place, you scale by getting more. Getting more will require more time. And for you to magnify your time, you need people to help you do it. Now, here's the thing. This will require you to man up or woman up as a CEO. As I mentioned, many people are, enamored with the glitz, the glamour, or the perceived glitz and glamour that's associated with that status of being a millionaire, of being a 7-figure business owner. But here's what I need to let you know. If you want to make money like a 7-figure CEO, then you have to be willing to make CEO investments and take CEO risks. Hello. If you want to make 7-figure CEO money, you have to make 7-figure CEO investments and be willing to take 7-figure CEO risks. Let's unpack both of those a little bit. Let me just say that for those of you who are still in your day job and you're still sort of maybe even you have your side hustle going on, here's what I want you to know from an employee perspective. From an employee perspective, your perspective on things is every 2 weeks, I'm expecting my paycheck. Your perspective on things is that I'm coming in here every day. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm working my 40 hours or 40 plus hours or whatever I'm supposed to do for this company. I expect my paycheck. What you do not know is what's on the other side in that business that allows you to receive that paycheck. Okay? It requires investment. So what I want you to know that as a CEO, 7-figure CEO, if that's where you want to be, know that this will require you to make investments like you have never invested before. We talked a minute ago about team. That's an investment. Okay? That is an investment. Just like you expect to get paid right now, if you're working for someone else, the people who are going to work for you are expecting to get paid. Okay? That's an investment. Know also that investments require other investments that it will require you to invest in sort of technology, all of the different things that are required to run your business. That's an investment. It will require you, I believe, to make the quickest advancements in your business. It will require you to develop, to invest in your skill set and your skill set development, your personal and your professional development. That requires investment. If you are really a badass about making huge leaps, you will also understand that oftentimes it requires investments in your team, not just in terms of salary, but in their development, in their training. Investments. That's not free. 7-figure CEOs are willing to make 7-figure investments. Doesn't mean that they're investing 7 figures. Let me put it like that. But they understand, because it doesn't make sense to bring in 7 figures if you're also spending 7 figures. Okay. We're not talking about that. But what we are talking about is that you are willing to take and make investments at levels that most people are afraid to. You are willing to make commitments at most people that at levels that most people are afraid to. It requires a sense, obviously, of responsibility. You have to be willing to take on CEO responsibilities, because yes, when you make those hires, when you have that team, okay, then hey, you have to not only be at a point where you are willing to invest in them, invest in their time and their training and showing them what to do and making sure that they have all the tools that they need to succeed. But you also need to understand that, yeah, they in a sense they become very they depend on that job, right? And so it's up to you to create a strong foundation in terms of the business itself. But here's one thing I also want you to know about the team level investments. You have to be willing to make hard decisions around the team. I know you've probably heard the phrase, hire slow, fire fast. And it's true. Because here's the bottom line. Your first responsibility is to the profitability of your company. Let me say that one more time. Your first responsibility is to the profitability of your company. When that goes down, everybody falls. It's like a pyramid, right? And so you have to make sure that you have the best and the strongest people on your team that you can possibly afford at every level. Now, if you're just starting out, the best virtual assistant that you can afford. And it could be that most of the time for you, if you're just starting out, they're not going to be full-time hires. It may just be 5 hours a week or so, but get the most responsible person that you can for that. Get the person that's going to be honest. Get the person that's going to be consistent. Get the person that's going to be hardworking. Get the person that is going to have a passion for what they're doing. Don't just get anybody just because they're available. This is your baby. It is your responsibility to find the best people. And if they're not, you cannot allow feelings and friendships that may develop over the course of this process to eclipse the importance of you looking out for the profitability of your business. You have to understand this is a business, and it's your responsibility as the CEO to put together the best team, not the C-level team, not the D-level team, the A team, the A-level talent for your business. It may take some time of switching players around until you find that A team. Invest the time. It'll be worth it. Okay? That's one area of investment. Another area of investment is, as I mentioned, personal and professional development. Continually improving your skill set. Let me tell you, I have made investments in this that will probably scare most people away. That most people would have never, ever, honestly would have probably thought, oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. But I made the levels of investments that I've made, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 plus $100,000 in a year. Okay. In this. Why? Because I understand that at the end of the day, this is the thing that will allow me to continue to grow, to produce, to get to that next level, right? And it can never be taken away from me. That can never be taken away from me. And it's those investments which will allow me to truncate time, right? And get to where I want to go even faster in my business. Once again, time is the most valuable asset, right? And so those types of investments, a lot of people are afraid of. And if you're afraid of making serious investments in your professional development, just know that it's going to take you longer to get there if you ever get there at all. If you want to make CEO level money, you need to be willing to make CEO level investments. Period. There's just no way around that. Now, I will say this. Sometimes people invest in the wrong things. Listen, you don't need 10 different certifications to do what you want to do. I can guarantee you. You don't need to have every degree that they make for you to do what you want to do. You look at a good chunk of the most famous billionaires on the planet didn't even finish college. Okay? But what you do need is you have to have that drive. You have to be willing to make those investments, and you have to be willing to take what the second half of this equation was CEO level risks. Another part of this. Let me tell you, if you're not willing to take risks, you don't need to own a business. Being in business is by its very nature risk. Now, I will say that it's not like crazy, fly by your pants, just do anything because you see everybody else doing it type of thing and you don't even know why you're doing it type of risks. No. Okay. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying calculated risk. I'm saying, and I'm using the term risk because here's the reality. There is never a guarantee. We are not in the guarantee business. No pun intended. When you are an entrepreneur, there is never a guarantee that's associated with anything that you do. It's never a guarantee associated with it. If you're looking for guarantees, this is not the world for you. Okay? Every entrepreneur by nature understands that every endeavor that they embark upon is not guaranteed to be successful. But here's what you learn when you get to this level. You have become so acculturated to what it feels like to take these calculated risks, where you are doing your due diligence, you're making sort of thoughtful decisions, right? But you also understand it could go really right or it could go wrong, right? I don't know until I try. Here's what you will learn along the way. You will learn that there is no up level without that element of risk involved. Without risk, there are no rewards in this game. Nothing is guaranteed. Obviously, there's a ton of things you can do, as I mentioned, to mitigate risks, but you never mitigate it all the way down to zero. Okay? And so if you are the type of person where you feel like you need a guarantee for everything, I can guarantee one thing about that: you won't be seeing seven figures. If you need a guarantee for everything you do, the only guarantee I can give you is you won't be getting anywhere near seven figures. There is no guarantee involved in that journey. What it requires is you believing in yourself to know, after you have done the due diligence, right? After you understand what is required, after you being willing to make the CEO level investments to improve your chances of success, after your dedication in terms of putting in the work, after you putting the right people around you to help you move further faster, okay? You have to understand that at some point, you just have to try. You have to put it out in the world. This is not a theoretical exercise. Nothing that you put together will be able to produce results for you until you actually see how the real world reacts to it. That involves risk. So at some point, you get to the place where you begin to recognize that feeling. You begin to recognize what it feels like on the inside to not know, that sort of that little bit of uncertainty, that little bit of, I don't know what's going to happen. But at some point, you recognize that feeling as the feeling that is the indicator that this is exactly what you need to break through to get to that next level. And it reduces the fear that's associated with that risk, because you know that that is the gateway to your next. Here's what I want you to know. The most important part of that process of getting used to the risk taking that is required to get you to this space is you having faith in you and believing that you can figure this thing out as it transpires. You can figure it out in real time. You can make adjustments. You can make tweaks. Worst case scenario, things don't go as anticipated. What do? You learn from it. You take an examination, you do an autopsy. What happened? What went wrong? And what do I need to change to make it right next time? And then guess what? You get back on the horse and you do it again. That's the type of mental toughness that's required. That is the level of activity that's required for CEO level outcomes and 7-figure CEO level outcomes. It requires you to make those risks that most people won't make, right? And take those risks, quite frankly, that most people won't take, and make those investments that most people won't make. That is required. It is absolutely required at this level. Okay? All right. Now, the next thing I want to tell you around your CEO level of success is that what you really need to always remember in terms of the long-term success of your business that will take you not only from solopreneur or onepreneur to 7-figure CEO, but will keep you there and in fact get you to the place where you can scale beyond that, okay, is understanding that your ultimate success is not based on the sales you make today. Your ultimate success is based on the quality of the delivery tomorrow, the quality of the follow-through of that sale tomorrow. You are always either creating a great experience for your customers that will ultimately lead to more sales in the future, or you're operating in the now. At some point, it will catch up with you and you won't continue to grow. It's no fun to get here if you can't stay here. So understand that your priority needs to be to deliver to the top of your ability to your clients. Okay, once you get there. And that will help you not only maintain those relationships, get repeat customers, get referrals, right? Get all of those things that will help your business grow, but it will also put you in a position where your reputation will precede you and it'll make it easier for your business to attract new customers in the future. It's not just the sale today, it's the service delivery tomorrow. That is a huge thing that CEOs get, okay? And it's not that solopreneurs don't get it. I just think that oftentimes they're so busy, it's just hard to juggle all the balls that are necessary in order to do it all, which means that when they turn their attention to the service delivery, they let the balls fall that has to do with that pipeline of getting new people in. This is why that team component is so important. Because now you can walk and chew gum at the same time. Now you can focus on having the best of the best experience for your clients, while at the same time, never letting the engine slow down with doing everything that needs to get done in order to get new people in the pipeline so that the sales keep coming. And guess what else? You can take holidays off. You can take vacations. You can have weekends. You can have a life. You can have it all if you realize It only comes when you don't do it all. These are the secrets that are inherent in the 7-figure journey that may not be glitzy and glamorous, but it's real. Now, I will say that we've talked a lot about team tonight. And before I let you go, I do want to be honest with you. Leading, hiring, growing, training, leading a team is a different skill set than what it took for you to be successful as a solopreneur. It's going to take more growth. It's going to take more professional development. It's going to take more learning on your part for you to be the leader that you need to create that dream team that I alluded to. It requires more of you. So what I'm saying is that at each level of this journey, the game changes. What got you to 6 won't get you to 7. What got you to 7 won't get you to 8. What got you to 8 won't get you to 9. And so on, and so on, so on. Each level of this journey, the game changes. Which is why you have to stay committed to continually growing and improving not only your craft in terms of what you do in your business, but also learning and growing in terms of your level of mastery of what's required at that next level for you to get there and stay there. I'm a much different entrepreneur and leader now than I was at the 6-figure level or even at the singular 7-figure level. Each level requires more. It requires more of you. And so this is why it never ends. That those investments never ends in. And that sort of need to sort of take those risks never end. They just get different at each level. So this is the journey, you guys. This is the journey that you will experience if you're looking to go down this road. As I mentioned, you don't need to have this as your goal. You can live a very busy but fulfilling life to a great degree at different levels in your business. You can be a solopreneur the entire time. You can say, hey, I just want to be in the low 6 figures, something. Okay, you can probably manage that pretty well. But if you want more, it will require more. And so I just wanted to be able to pull back the covers tonight to speak openly, honestly, and with transparency around what it really takes. It will take more. It will take more. All right. So with that said, this has been wonderful chatting with you tonight. I really want to say that, this is something that I'm excited about sharing because this is something that I found that our clients are experiencing as they're making these sort of transitions. You are probably seeing, as I'm doing my post, we have clients who are doing amazing things in our mentorship. We have normalized this issue of $100,000 months, $20,000 weeks, $50,000 weeks. We've normalized that. And they're going through this process of growing and risk taking and understanding what it is. And I wanted to share with you a little bit of what that looks like, because I believe that there's enough for all of us to experience that level of abundance. It's enough for all of us. But to get there, you have to make sure that people are aware of what you do, that people understand your genius, and people know how to tap into that genius by hiring you and your business to do whatever it is that you do, right? And so this is why we hold our free, absolutely free, Perfect Media Pitch Masterclass, because this is a bit of knowledge that I believe is absolutely necessary for every business owner to have. You may have noticed out here in these internet streets that a lot of people are having classes, master classes, challenges, and a lot of people are charging for those classes, master classes, challenges. I'm not. Mine have been free and they're still free. Why? Because I believe that this is knowledge that needs to go out to the world. I believe that the world needs your genius. And I know that when you understand how to magnify your genius on a massive scale, your business can take off. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. And as our clients grow, it happens over and over and over again. Even had a client about, oh God, a month ago, I think, had $100,000 day. It is possible. But it all started at the Perfect Media Pitch Masterclass. So if you have not signed up, now is the time to do it. We are kicking off in a little bit over a week. And I have to tell you, okay, this is a new, improved, upgraded experience that we have curated for you for this next masterclass. If you have attended a masterclass in the past, this is different than any other one that we have held before. It is going to be live and in person in a much more intimate way than it has been in the past, okay? This is going to be an incredible experience, and we have changed and tweaked and improved. As you may have noticed, we've taken a couple months off of these classes. We've been making it better. I believe in getting better. I don't believe in coasting. And so if you want an even better experience, sign up for it again. If you've never done it before, sign up for it now. This is the class where I've had people take this class and get like $10,000 speaking engagements. I mean, they're using these skills not just to pitch the media, but to pitch themselves for speaking engagements during the class. I've had people go through this class and get national media hits as a result of what they've learned from the class. Not to even mention what happens with my clients, which use the knowledge that they gain in this class as a foundational level when they start working with me in a more deeper way, right? And so if you have not signed up, make it your business to sign up, and sign up right now at perfectmediapitch.com, perfectmediapitch.com. We are so excited to be able to get this party started with you in about a week and a half. As soon as you sign up, you're going to get information in your email box delivered to you that's going to tell you more about what to expect. It's going to invite you to our Facebook group where we have all sorts of free trainings just like this one leading all the way up into the masterclass. And then once the masterclass kicks off, it is going to be on and popping, okay? Hey there, Dr. Miriam. How are you? You are welcome. Great to see you, Mimi. So it is wonderful to have you here. Oh, that is exactly right. Or look, Warren Checkmate Hudson's in the house. Great to see. Great to see many of our amazing clients here. But for those of you who are like, who is this lady? I've never seen her before. I just want you to know that this will be the most critical training that your business has experienced, period, bar none. People have literally gone through this training and told us that they have paid $20,000 or more for entire programs where they got less information and guidance than they did in the free training that we provide. Okay. So do yourself a favor. Set yourself up to end the year strong by signing up right now at perfectmediapitch.com. We look forward to having you for this new, improved, elevated experience of the Perfect Media Pitch Masterclass. We look forward to making sure that you get the tools that you need to take your business to the next level. Because quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, right now is a critical moment for businesses. I want you to be equipped to succeed. No matter what happens with this economy, no matter what happens with the pandemic, I want you to be equipped to succeed. And this is exactly what we do in this class. We give you the tools that you need to succeed irregardless, if that's really a word, of what else is happening in the broader economy. Why? Because we know that if you can reach millions, you can do what? Make millions. And this is where it all starts. With that said, this has been an amazing evening, you guys. I want to thank you for taking the time to sit with me this evening. I sure hope that you got some good nuggets out of tonight's training around CEO secrets. I just wanted to keep it real for you. This is not all fairy dust and sprinkles, okay? But let me tell you, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. So if you're willing to do what needs to be done to get here, let me just say, there's enough room for you. There's enough room. There is enough for all of us to be millionaires. I truly believe it. And if that's what you want, go out there and get yours. We would love to help you get a head start on that process in the masterclass. We will see you all soon. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll chat with you all later. Take care, guys. Bye.